This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. Hi, this is Joe Rabil with Invest Like a Pro. So today what I want to do is talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that's risk reward. I haven't talked about this a lot on this channel, and I want to make sure I cover it, and I want to give you a pretty good idea of why I think it's so valuable. I believe it actually takes precedence over your ability to analyze, believe it or not. And I spend so much time teaching people how to analyze because you want to get to a specific level before you can reach this point where risk reward becomes more important. I'll give you an example. Again, I like to use golf as an analogy. Everyone talks about the short game being so important, putting and chipping and all around the green and all being so important to your score. But if you can't hit the ball and get it down the course, get it to the green, then you're never even worried about your short game. So you have to at least have enough knowledge or ability in golf, at least, to get the ball down towards the hole. In the same way with the stock market, you have to have enough knowledge to be able to get yourself to identify and implement good quality trades. But once you have that ability, you don't want to go and look for more indicators or try and find the perfect setup. I think what you want to do is start learning to lean on risk reward. Let me go and I want to show you an example of what I'm talking about. And the reality is, if you look at this picture, right? I mean, I wanted to give you an idea of this because I have a client who I've had. He's my longest term client. I've had him forever. Institutional client who had built up 3 different money management firms and sold them to banks over the course of the last 40, 50 years. And he's still in there fighting and has another firm that he's building up. So the reason why I'm bringing him up is early on when I started working with him, he made a comment to me that is really stuck. And he had this huge winning trade that he got in, and it just kept going up and up and up and up. And it was just a huge win for him. And I said, wow, that's really good. And he goes, you know what I do? I basically just lay my tail across the road and hope to get run over by the luck truck. And so this picture is basically, this is you laying your tail across the road and hoping that the luck truck runs over it. And so it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I think if you have this mentality, if you think this way, you're going to put yourself in a position to have these odd trades that if you go through your log sheet, you're going to say, wow, look at the size of this winning trade. That's what you want to put in. Your approach needs to give you the ability to take advantage of this style. So let me just show you how I would go about doing something like this. So let's just discuss, I've got the flex pattern here where we've got this big breakout developing. And if you notice, there's no upside resistance. Now, my clients know, my subscribers also know that I do have targeted resistance lines that I use in multiple time frames for targets. But what I wanted to do here is show the mentality that you should have. Because let's just say over the course of 20 trades, you have 6 wins and 12 losses and then 2 break-evens. All right. I mean, this doesn't really sound all that great, but let's put it in a different context. Let's say if the size of your wins are 5 times what you risk, you're going to end up with 30 units of wins on the 6, right? It's 6 wins times 5, that's 30. So whatever the unit is, if it's a percent that you're risking, you're going to end up with 30% on the win side. And if you keep your losses to whatever you risk, 1 unit of risk, and you lose 12, that's taking care of your loss side of your equation, not letting them get away. Then you lose 12 units, you win 30, and over the course of 20 trades, you win 18 units. This strategy is a 30% win rate, 30%. Okay, you're not winning very often, but when you do, you win in size. Now, I know this might not sound all that attractive, and for the most part, I kind of suggest guys try and make sure they have a slightly higher win rate. And I think with the approach that I use, it can definitely be that way. Now, what I suggest though is taking a portion of your capital, maybe it's even 25%, and set up a slightly different money management approach. Trade management and money management approach for those trades. And in those trades, you might risk the same amount, but what you're going to do is you're going to have a tighter stop. And you're going to understand in these trades, when you have a tighter stop, you're going to have a lower win rate. Okay, there's no way around this. I've done all kinds of back testing on this. The tighter your stop, the smaller, the lower your win rate's going to be, the more losses you're going to take. However, the size of those losses could be very, very small. I'm going to show you an example of this, but let's just start with the flex trade. So if we did this trade, and let's just say we bought this as this was breaking out, okay, and instead of risking, a whole lot, something all the way down to here, instead of risking from 20 down to 16, let's just say you risk to the bottom of this bar, you risk $2, okay? Now, $2 of risk rather than $4. What does that allow me? Now I know that if I can get this stock up from 20 to 30, I've hit one of my 5 times. You see that? So I'm risking a little bit less, and you got to have a separate trading plan for this strategy, okay? Because it's a different money management approach. It's a different trading strategy. Nothing's changing in the approach in terms of I'm looking at the same things here. I'm looking at the entry the same way. You got this turn here with the green DI holding. Nice breakout trade after going sideways for an extended period. We had this sideways line, kept on acting as resistance, and then we finally break through. All right, so we're not changing, what we're not doing is changing our approach to entry. What we are doing is changing our risk reward scenario. Instead of putting this on and saying, you know what, I'm gonna try and be in this for the next 3 years, 2 years, and I am fully behind doing that type of trade. I have no problem doing that, and you could do that here too. You could say, all right, I'm risking $4, and then instead of taking a profit when you're up $4, you just go to a break even. And then try and get this thing up to a point where maybe you take a profit at 3, a third off at 3 to 1. You take a profit at a third at 5 to 1, and then at 7 to 1 you take the last third, and then you end up getting again your 5 to 1 trade. Now it's going to take a lot longer than the way I'm describing it here, where you do this, you risk $2 and you try and get 10. Now, obviously what can happen is we're up $5 in this trade after risking 2. Yeah, I would probably go to a break even, and that's where some of these break even stocks are going to come in. Don't do it too quick. Like once it goes up $2, don't go to a break even. You got to let this get at least halfway to the target, maybe even a little bit more. Then you can do the break even trade. See if you can't get to 30 here. And then all of a sudden, you've got one of your, out of 20 trades, you get one of your 5 times, right? You only need a few of these to make some serious money in your account. So that's one way to do it. I want to show you a different way. Let's just give an example of Amazon. I've shown these examples on my show, my stock talk show, where this got oversold away from the 18-month. This was also oversold, but it had divergence on the MACD. MACD making a higher low while price was making a lower low. It was coming into pretty good support here. And then also notice what happened as this MACD divergence was developing. Look at what the ADX did. It did not confirm this new low. So we went to a new low here, and ADX did not get above 25. I've shown this on this channel a number of times. This is a great setup to be on the lookout for any signs of improvement. Now, right as this is developing, that's this pattern here on the hourly. Look at this breakout, turnaround. Look at green DI. Look at MACD. Everything's setting up. The way I set this up is I think right around 89 on a 10-minute chart. If you went down to the 10-minute chart and used the opposing trend, you could have done this off of a 10-minute chart and risked $2. Okay, we would have had a $2 risk. So again, trying to make about 10, let's say we're in at 89. Now the target here would have been the 18 week, which is around 100. It worked out perfect. Now, here's the thing. My subscribers know, if any one of the subscribers that are watching, they know that my target would have been 112. I have specific targets based on these key resistance lines that I use, and 112 was the number. If you notice, we went up to 112 and turned down. So I want to just add that in. I don't always use the moving average, but that can be used in this situation. And yes, I'm using a really tight stop here. I'm putting the stop right underneath this. Why? Because this is a different approach. My approach here is to try and use tight risk. I'm getting in here. I'm putting it in really tight. Now, let's just say I get stopped out. Okay, I lose $2. I lose whatever unit. I have one loss. Okay, I have 1 unit of loss. Now, let's say that it just comes down and then it triggers again a few days later. Well, I'm going to take that trade again, risk another $2, right? And we trigger it, and then that time I actually make the 10. Okay, so now I have a win rate of 50%, and sometimes it might take 2 stabs, but I'm making $10 when I'm right, and I'm only losing $2 when I'm wrong. So again, you could take 3 stabs, have a 30% win rate or a 33% win rate, and still net $6 in that trade. If you had 2 losses of $2 each and then make $10 in the win, you're still coming out on top with a $6 win. Now, you have to have a completely different mentality when you trade. But this is how professional traders think. They know what they're trying to do. They're trying to put on really tight risk, and they know if they get stopped out, they're going to look for another entry. It's very hard to do sometimes, but this is how professional traders will do it when they're trying to play for a reversal pattern in a lot of cases. Now, this can be the case also in a breakout trade. You might get stopped out once and then have to re-enter. As long as you abide by what we're trying to accomplish, then I think this strategy can come in really handy. And again, I wouldn't necessarily do this for your entire portfolio or your whole trading portfolio. But what you could do is have some stocks that you're trying to get to a break even quickly, and have others where you think have some potential to be quick, strong movers. And you could do the same strategy with options, where you put on a unit of risk based on the option, and then you try and get 5 times that in your profit, and then you just let it go. The problem with that a lot of times is that you run out of time. So I don't want to be hard and fast in options like that. It can be kind of difficult unless you get a huge move like we saw in stocks like Tesla and Amazon and Meta and stuff like that. So keep these things in mind when you're trading, and think about the risk reward. See if you can put yourself in a position to get run over by the luck truck, and it doesn't take that many. We're talking about 3 out of 10, 30%. And if you can do that, your numbers are going to look really, really good in the end in terms of profits. All right, go ahead and post any questions or comments. Thanks.